like before, like if I was living in a wealthy family like that, bro, I'd be spoiled as fuck.
Yeah,
I'd wreck a Hellcat on purpose just to get another one.
yeah. Which I get it too. Like in that sort of sense, like it's how you're raised and how humbling you can handle it.
Yeah, see,
You
but
know.
like that's just crazy
But
to
I
me
guess
though.
everyone's different. Everyone's raised different. Everyone has their own thought process. Like how
Yeah.
you were saying too about like if you're gonna be a stay-at-home wife and all this other stuff, like the man has to do, you know, what was it that we were talking about the other day?
So we got into the conversation where like, okay, if you're gonna be a stay-at-home wife, right, and you're gonna and the man's gonna be obviously bringing the big money in, you know, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna stay at home wife and do nothing, right? Obviously, the guy's gonna have expectations where, like, okay, like, when I come home, I expect the house to be clean. I expect to be food, everything, super clean,
Clothes
right?
wash.
Everything super clean.
Yes.
But in return, you're gonna get your nails done. You're gonna get the purse, the bag you want. You're gonna get your car note paid, everything. You feel
Yeah.
me? That's
You're
what I'm
getting
saying.
taken
Like,
care of.
Which I feel like is a fair trade, but I
Mhm.
think that the way that it's presented and like I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
right,
Mhm.
So like if Martin came at me and Martin is like, you can be a stay-at-home wife or whatever,
right.
but the dishes better be done. There better be dinner when I come home. There better be this, and I'd be like, hold on.
Mm.
First of all, that's rude.
But I feel
Like,
like
Well-
I feel like yes, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
like
I
I think,
get
but that's
that.
what I'm saying.
Get
I think it's how you say it, not what you say.
But-
And then like
yeah.
I think if you say it like, hey, you're gonna be home all day. Like, what are things like? Let's set some goals for the week that you're not doing anything. Like, I think
Right.
there are ways to say it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and like
for sure,
I
but,
think
like-
that goes back to like how the Hispanic
Yeah, that's
toxicity is
how
what we were saying.
exactly.
Because like there's male Hispanics, like especially when they come from Mexico,
Yeah,
that they come and they do that because that's what ultimately is how it's supposed to be,
Mhm.
right? That if
Yeah.
you like, there's not that implementation of like, oh, women can go to
Mhm.
school and get a career for themselves,
It's
right?
not equal opportunity.
There's no equal opportunity over there, right? So
Mhm.
then when people come over here, they try to imply that here.
Mhm.
Obviously, like nowadays, it doesn't have to be like that, especially for us since we understand it.
Right.
But there's certain people that are like, if I'm gonna be making the bread, if I'm gonna be working, you're gonna be a stay-at-home wife. Yeah, there are some expectations to
Right.
happen, and it is like you said, it's a fair trade.
Mhm.
But there's people that also like how you're saying it's not the way you say it, it's how you say it.
Exactly.
Because then it's just like, hold on, like us as guys, we assume like, okay, you're already a stay-at-home wife, you know
Right.
what you're gonna do.
No,
You know?
exactly.
And
then
then
that-
you get home and you're just like, hey, you haven't done anything, like, and then again, that's where that cycle starts of the
Yeah.
toxicity. There should be that implement of like, you're gonna be a stay-at-home wife. We should make goals. We should have these things to be done at a certain time, before I get home. Different things, or even like certain days that need to get done. That would be a respectful manner to do it, right?
Yeah, because it's like I said, it all goes back. That's how I was raised, as like, if I'm gonna be the
As I
one,
was raised too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then like people nowadays, they hear you be like, whoa, why would you even say? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, that's just how I was raised. Just like seeing that, because like, obviously, I grew up without a father, so it was just my mom. But now that I'm living with my stepdad's just like, well, he's my father, but he's like, all right, if I'm gonna be the one making the big money, you're gonna stay home. I expect the house, this, you feel me? So
Yeah.
like, you're pretty much working too, but like I said, at the end of the day, you're gonna get your bills paid, you're gonna get your phone, whatever
Car
you need.
note,
Yeah,
all
like,
that.
oh, like I need money for this because
It makes sense.
You see
It
what I
makes
mean?
sense. But again, like the conversation that we were having is like, for us in this generation where we live at, women can do whatever they want.
No,
Women
100%.
are expected to do anything that they can. They can accomplish anything as men. Now, there's some guys that don't have the same mindset as me and you. There's some guys that still believe like, no, you're a woman, you can't be doing that. There's so
Yeah,
many people
see,
that are just like, you
nah.
can, no, trust me. No matter what. And this is another example. This is a prime example. The other day that I was working in the fields and I was loading up the bins, the peaches and stuff like that in the road. Across the street from us where we were working at, there's pistachios. Now, in the pistachios, they have this mower to mow out the grass, to mow out the weeds, to have it back to the dirt. Because
Right.
then the grass just starts clogging up certain shit. You know what I mean? So instead of disking the entire field, they'll mow it. It's easier. There was this girl that was on the whole tractor machine and the mower, and she was gonna start doing that. I was like, that's respect, because
Oh,
not
for
a lot of
real.
people can handle this work, and especially when you're out there in the mower, no AC, not straight heat. and covered in dirt all day. Like that's a lot of work and dedication. Same
For
thing
real.
with when it comes to like us picking. We had a lot of crew that have women too. Women are out there trying to hustle, trying to make their bread, trying to make as they definitely can, bro. A woman can do any type of job a man can.
Oh no,
It's
100%,
just the
bro.
willpower. It's just the mentality.
You know how many women I seen in construction, bro, doing the same thing. I was like, I respect. You feel me? I'm like, damn, you out here, like, hey, they're making big bank. I'm
Yeah.
just like, hey,
Yeah.
that's what's up, though.
And that's why like we have to accept that as a society that
Yeah.
a woman can do the same thing as men can.
I was kind of jealous 'cause she was on the forklift and I was just like, damn, if she can do that, I can do that too. That's great. Hey, but like I said, it's all respect and power
Yeah.
to them, you know? Like it takes a lot of dedication to be out there in the sun, bro. You just cheeks to the sun and just time. That's all
Yeah.
dedication.
The other thing too that we were talking about.
Because it's the truth.
What the
That's
fuck were you staring at?
the sun was
The
hitting
sun-
my cheeks.
oh,
I
okay.
was tired. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Sun and
right,
cheeks
right,
that-
right. Your
I
cheeks.
first. Okay, you know what? Hey, my bad.
I'm uncomfortable.
What? First of all, yeah, hey, y'all just, hey, you know, I'm just gonna be quiet now
No,
for the rest of
Hey,
the show.
hey, cut this out. But remember when he sent me a snap, or he showed me a snap one time, and you were like, "Bro, my ass is sunburned," and I was like, "Huh?"
Because
And he was like, "I looked, and it was like the stripe, I think, or you showed it was some picture," and I
Yeah.
was like, that's insane."
no, because that's what it basically
Yeah,
is.
you look fucking sunburned.
Yeah,
I
because
was
look,
hella- I was
you're
hella
bent
laughing.
down, tying
Your
all
butt
the.
crack was all exposed. Yeah.
Oh,
Looking
me.
like a plumber and shit.
I was just that's what I'm saying.
That's okay.
Like,
Hey, it happens. It gets the best of us. I get it like that too.
see, but mine was just my ass was just facing the sun all day because I was bent over tying. There's no reason. I'm not gonna be like
We believe you, Raymond. It's fine.
It's all good,
We
bro.
believe you.
Yeah.
You're a hardworking man. It's fine.
I'm a hardworking man. Nah, no
Are
more.
you not?
Nah, I'm not no more.
No, it's
I'm a
all good.
bum.
Well,
I'm
past
a bum.
tense.
For the meanwhile.
It's okay, bro.
Hey, me too.
Another thing that we were talking about that was controversial was the generational wealth. A lot of kids, like you were saying, that you would be spoiled. You would do all these things.
Oh my God! Don't
that's the
even get me
last. That's the
started.
last thing that you want
Don't
to do
even
is
get
to
me
get spoiled,
started.
and you don't know how hard it is. You gotta have humble beginnings.
Mhm.
You gotta learn that money just doesn't grow on trees, and like generations, it gets
Yeah.
passed on. You gotta continue that money. You gotta continue that legacy.
Oh my God, bro! I just mentioned the Hellcats I have. I just wreck one on purpose, knowing I'll get another one.
This is why generational wealth.
I'd have been like, Mom, like, hey, like, can I get another Hellcat? Why? What'd you do to it? I wrecked it. All right, go ahead.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But can you imagine growing up in a house where you're like, like, you're set? Like, you don't have to worry about your bills being paid.
Oh
you don't
my
have to worry.
God! I'm
Like,
gonna
can
be
you
honest.
imagine?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, listen, like I said, bro.
But it just makes sense to like a lot of these well-off families. Like they have that whole mentality of like, well, I don't really have anything to be driven to do something
Yeah.
in my life
That's what I was gonna say. We know.
because
Go
I'm
ahead.
set at the end. Like if I can fuck around and dig and hold my dick and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a champion at the Olympics or something like that. Waste your time and it doesn't happen.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be sad.
Well,
I
that's what you
would-
say. But like, we know somebody whose family owns a company,
Mm-hmm.
and the son is our age, or like a few years younger than us,
Mm-hmm.
and his role in the family is to take over the company.
Mhm.
He doesn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to do something else. And I think the
Mm.
exchange that we don't really acknowledge because we're like, oh, they have money, they're fine, is like the debates that happen within, like, in this case, like a father and a son, like the fights that they have over the company.
Yeah.
And I think that's the exchange is like, yeah, they're set, but like the relationship with your dad isn't the greatest because you're taking over the company. Like it's your
And I-
like
you know,
favorite Zoom.
And
you know?
I'll say
Yeah, I
this.
didn't think
I'll
about that,
open
bro.
up about this. Me and my dad, we've had these arguments before because my dad was just like, no, like, he now he's super supportive. Now he's just like, do whatever makes you happy.
Right.
Pero antes he was like, not like that. He was just like, tengo el terreno. I got all this. He was just like, I got all this stuff, and like one day it's gonna be you, and then it's gonna be your turn to do
yeah,
this.
my pops was something like
And
that.
like
too.
now he sees it. Now he's just like, no, he understands that. I always wanted something different in my life, fam. Like I'm sorry, like I just had this deep conversation with my white side of the family, I guess I could say. And he was just like, but you didn't want to do anything in the fields, right? And I said, no, never. I was like, it's not that I hate it. It's just that my dad came to this country to give me a better life.
Right.
Why would I do something that isn't for me? Like my dad has a passion for the agricultural thing.
That's what I'm saying. Your dad's very prideful about what he
Yes.
does. As
Because
he should. He
Yeah,
does.
no,
He has
for
his
sure.
hand.
he did this whole agricultural thing at a young age when he was like 5. He dropped out of
Yeah.
school to help out his family provide, to help
Yeah,
out with
this-
his dad and the ranch.
Similar thing with my dad. Like my dad started in construction 18,
Mhm.
right? I talked to him, but like, hey, you like it? He's like, nah, but I like the money.
Mhm.
See, but like I said, it's just beneficial. Like I like it because I like working with my hands, bro. Just think about it, just the union benefits you get.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're not only set, but the family is set, bro.
Yeah.
Like everybody has a good, wealthy health plan, you know.
Mhm.
And then the union pays for, like, let's say God forbid you pass away, the cash gets paid, and then you get 20 racks on top of that.
Mhm.
Let alone, you know, your insurance and everything, like everything they provide for you. I'm just like, yo, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm focusing on going into the union. But like I said, there's pros and cons to it.
No,
You're
for
not
sure.
home. You're not home all the time.
And that's why it goes back to the whole thing. Find something that you're passionate about, bro.
I'm
Because if not,
passionate with that.
you know what? I reflect life,
What?
and it might be funny and it might be stupid to many of you, but I'm being straight up. I reflect my life like the B movie. Have you ever seen the B movie?
Yeah.
So in the B movie, they talk about, okay, as soon as they graduate school,
Mhm.
now they gotta find a job, and that's the job that they're gonna do for the rest of their fucking lives.
Nah.
And he was, and the B was just like, no, like I don't want to do that.
You want to do
His name's
something
Barry.
different.
He was like, I don't want to do that for the rest of my
Uh-huh.
life. I don't want to be what they said, like a spinner, you know, to spin
Right.
the honey and shit like that. He was like, I don't want a collector collecting all this
Mm.
stuff. He was like, no, I want to be out there. I want to do this. And he was passionate about this. And they were like, no, you can't do that because you're not built to be out in the outside world.
Right.
And he was
right.
like, well, I could do whatever I want. And like he put it in that mindset.
Right.
So like I reflect my life like that also because like, yeah, I don't want to. I should look at that shit. I look at all this shit and I'm just like, do I really want to stay in that job for the rest of my life till like I die?
Right.
Because that's what they were saying. As soon as a job, like in the movie, as soon as a job that you were looking for that you wanted to do for the rest of your life, they would look at the chart and they'd be like, okay, let's see. Oh, this person just died. We need somebody else for that application. Oh, perfect.
Damn.
Somebody else just got that job.
Right.
You know, it's just like, hold on, like that's true. Like that's really how the world works right now. Because if you can't find something, or you're doing something you don't like, you're stuck on that job because you're
Pretty
stuck with
much.
having bills. You're stuck with having all these
Yeah,
things.
because you just
And like,
have that mentality.
like I said,
now.
I had this conversation with my white family,
Mhm.
and he was just like, well, you know, he was like, what are your other alternatives? What are your other options? I was like, well, I really don't got none, man. I was like, if I'm being honest with you, I can't afford going to Fresno State. I was like, I can't afford to go back to school.
Yeah.
I was like, that shit's expensive. I
It
was just like,
is.
and then I got all kinds of shit that I gotta provide for, let
Mhm.
alone take care of bills. Like, I can't just stop.
Yeah, nah, it's hard, bro.
Yeah,
It's really hard.
and like, I get it. My dad had a passion for what he does in this agricultural thing because he's done it since he was a kid. And I wouldn't say it was forced upon him, but he had to learn to adapt on it.
right.
And I think ultimately that was the only thing that he learned how to do. And because he was
Man, that's
passionate about
crazy.
other things like soccer, he was great at soccer.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, he got injured, and that was it. That was the end of it.
Mhm.
And I think that my dad never really thought of like an injury to happen that could end it.
Right.
But then when that happened, it was more of like growing up where he was like, sports aren't going to be there for you. So get your head
No,
out the fucking
For
sky.
real, yeah.
Like and he was very much like that. And not that he wasn't supportive with like my athletic abilities or anything like that, but he was
Mhm.
just more of like, "Hey, deja de esas pendejadas. You got to find something that's going to put food on the table. That's going to be
Mhm.
there, like, you know."
Well,
And
then speaking for your dad, like he came from Mexico like alone at first.
Mhm.
So he was alone. He had no family to support him. So like he did kind of have to like focus and work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think the difference is like he wants better for you, and like now you have parents here who support you. You
Mhm.
have like the difference, and I think that's why your dad's proud of you now and like of what you want to do,
Mhm.
because you do want to do better than him, and I think he sees
Yeah.
he sees
But
that.
it took a long time for him to really notice that.
Yeah.
But even then, like there's just times where I get it. They come from a different perspective. They see
Mhm.
things differently. They don't really understand, and they're trying to learn. So like when there's things like with these job opportunities that I'm trying to get or applying, and they're just like, dude, you have an education. Like you have all the opportunity that I didn't have.
Yeah,
It's-
there's no reason why you
Yeah.
can't get it. Yeah.
And it's just like I'm trying,
yeah.
but you don't understand the process.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's just like, and I remember as a kid, and I felt bad throwing it at their face, but I was like, I used to tell him like, you wouldn't last a day in school like how I'm doing.
Yeah.
I was like, because there's just so much stuff that you got to get. You have to learn. I'm sorry. You have to
Yeah.
learn 6 different subjects. You have to learn English, math, science, history, all these other things. PE. You have to learn all kinds of other shit. And it wasn't just simple.
The thing is though is that they tried to like that old mentality they got from they still trying to like implement that. You know, where they're just like, hey, come on now, like I came from nothing. You have everything here. Why can't you get that? You feel me?
Mhm.
But then I
That's
think
what
they're
I'm saying.
comfortable in what they know.
No,
And they
for
know
sure.
that. And then like how we're growing up or the way that we're doing things now, like as a generation are different. And it kind of scares them because then they're like, oh, that's not normal. Like that's not
Yeah,
okay.
and you can never prove them wrong. You can't.
No,
As
because
much
their
as you
ways
try
like
to,
set in stone.
as much as you trying to be like, nah, but I can't do this. Like I gotta take this in order for me to be what I want. He's
it's
just
not
like,
as plain and simple as like what it was taught.
no,
you know?
yeah,
And like one thing that when I was talking to, I guess said my white family, and he was and I was having this deep conversation with them, and I kind of opened up to him about the interview process, the application process, and all this other stuff, and he was like, I didn't know that you had to do all these things, and I was like, yeah, like it's not just okay, I do this interview and it's out there for all these other police departments. Like no,
it's just it's specifically for that one.
specifically for that department. Then after that it doesn't work out and I apply somewhere else, I have to do it all over
A
again.
new thing.
It's a process, like it's just another job.
Yeah.
And it's constant thing. And there's steps, there's stages before you move on to the next level. And he looked at me, he was just like, I have no advice for you. Dead ass.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm so sorry that you're going through it. Like I wish I could know somebody to help you. And I was just like, it's not even knowing anybody. I was like, I wish it was like, oh, I know somebody and they'll help you pull the rank, you know? But then even that, there's people that are just like, I don't know what else to do. And it's just like, man, like I'm sorry. Like they'll tell you straight up too, like, it sucks. Like, I'm sorry that you have to go through that. And then just keep going. Keep applying.
Yeah.
But then eventually it's just you get to that point where it's just like, am I destined to have this? I went to school for it, yeah. But was that even my destiny?
Yeah.
God has a bigger picture. Like today we just went to church and we had that whole conversation of just eye opening and praying. And like I said, like I told you, we need to go to church for us, for being Catholic. We need to go to church to thank God. We haven't stepped in the house of the Lord for a minute, and we should thank Him for all the stuff that we have because we're grateful that we have this fucking little platform. And it might not be much for a lot of people, but it's much for us.
No, for sure. And the way like where we're at right now is just like who'd have thought would be in the position we're in right now. You know, that's what I'm saying. There's the other thing too. Like I don't know if you noticed it. Like when I'm working in construction, and like when I first started. Like they were so quick to criticize her. Like, why are you here? Like, I'm just like, cause I like it. Like, what's wrong with that? It would be like you know, you could do so much better. But I'm just like, but I like it though. Like, for me to be like, imagine 23 and getting pay rate of 26. Like, who wouldn't want it? You know?
Yeah.
And it'd be like, but why? Like, you know, and then you'll tell them, but like, oh, but like I like it. Like, I want to do something. I want to build my own company. So I'm like trying to get the experience as much as I can. But they're just like, but out of everything, you could have been a doctor. Really,
but like, bro, even that.
I wonder if that's like it almost makes me sad that like construction workers or like people who work like what is it? Is it blue collar jobs?
It's white collar? No, blue collar.
I think it's blue collar.
Blue collar jobs.
Blue collar jobs, like the people who work on this, like to fix the roads, the people who do all that.
People that are.
It's sad that like they're like, oh, why are you coming here? Because like they value their job as so less than
That's everything.
than,
like
a doctor.
Yeah.
And it's sad because like they're like, oh, well, you can be doing so much better. Like they have no like pride in what they're doing. It's almost like it's shameful. Like or it's like compared to other jobs, it's like lesser than.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, but like you're working, for example, like you're sending the rebar for a building. You see it, like you start noticing the process, and you're just like, damn, and like they lift the walls, and you're like, I was just stepping on that wall, like, you know, with the rebar and everything, and you just look up and be like, damn, like me, that fascinates me because I'm just like, dude, there's no way I helped create this wall.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I helped assemble this wall for this piece, or, you know, like you'd step and be like, dude, I remember this was a wall, and like, now it's just up. You know, like stuff like that, like that's for me, that's like, that's an accomplishment as a team, you know, because it's not just only you, it's the whole team working together to create something.
For
like
sure.
my goal is to like I said, have my own company and then start doing skyscrapers and stuff like bridges like that and all that stuff. Like to me, that's just
I
like
get you, bro, because my dad le da mucho orgullo. It gives a lot of joy when he's like during like this time, like this harvest season. So when he sees the produce, he gets so excited because he's just like, we did that. Like we created this
exactly right.
because you know in the wintertime when the trees are asleep and they're trying to you know they're in this hibernation stage where they're just the trees asleep and they're trying to obviously find the new what's it called, canes for the raisins or the grapes, I'm sorry, and then you have to cut the canes for the canes and the branches for the peaches for the new set of fruit that's getting prepared. All these different stages of it, you know. And that my dad sees it from the beginning stage, from the winter when it's cold and there's nothing on the tree, to now it's blossoming in the spring. And then as soon as it's done blossoming, then you start seeing the produce start to grow. And he gets so excited because he's just like, wow, like I'm doing
it's a
doing
seed,
this.
and all of a sudden look at it to what it turned into now.
And then once it's fully produced and once it's fully picked, then he starts seeing, like, noticing, like, wow, like we did this, like I created this in that sort of sense. Because like, yeah, it's a process, it's a whole thing. And then my dad's always been loyal to the Cyber family. He's always been loyal. And like growing up, like I always question that, like why are we still, you know, why aren't we in a better house? Like we were still living in a trailer. And like there was just a lot of things, like even like it wasn't just me, it was all my siblings too. Like we were just kind of like, we felt very low life because of how we were treated in school. Because then they would be like, well, you live in a trailer in the middle of nowhere. Like, and then like they would be like, oh, I have a house, I have this and stuff like that.
No,
and it's just like we were such low lives to a lot of people. And it's just like, and no matter how our appearance was, whether I was rocking Jordans or whatever it is, that shit's always stayed. Because no matter what, they would just be like, your family's poor. Like there was this kid, who if I see him in the streets, bro, trust me, it's fuck you. I'll cuss you out. I'll beat the bricks out of your fucking white privileged bitch ass. Straight up.
Whoa. It was
It's Punjabi. He's half Poon, half white. No, but he's fully white. Anyways. Yeah. So yeah. There was this one time, man, like I thought he was like a really good friend of mine. And like I had him spend the night at my house, and then he started telling everybody like, oh, his trailer was the size of like my kitchen, like the food that they kind of have, like it was in like really good, it was really salty, it was really like spicy, and like just talking like shit. And like there was other people that were like, hey man, like that's like you wanted to go over to his house just to talk shit, just to, you know. And like he was treating me like he talked down to my family, you know. My family was really nice to him and everything, and like, and I was really cool with them. And then once I like found that out like later on, like I was like, what the fuck, like
you open the doors to your house for him to come in, and then that's what he does.
And like I felt after that experience, I never told anybody about it because I was like, no, like one thing, he was very popular,
right?
And like I knew that I couldn't really say much, and even like with the people that I ran with and I don't know if it was just that fear of like I would get in trouble with this kid because obviously he's white, and his mom defended the shit out of him. Like there was times that he would get in trouble at school, and his mom would come.
He was babied.
Yes, his mom.
Babied. Oh my god, I'm not laughing at you. Like fucking for real.
Laughing at my broadcast.
No, that dude, that kid, he lived around the corner from me. So we went to elementary, middle school, and high school together. And in elementary school, he shaved off his eyebrows, right? So he came to school one day with no eyebrows. And then he was like, oh, and then he made up this big lie. And I don't know, I'm assuming it was a lie. But he was like, oh, I fell asleep and my brother shaved my eyebrows. Like, BS, you shaved your eyebrows. So he came to school, and because everyone kept staring at him, my teacher put his desk against the wall. So when he would look up, he was like looking at the whiteboard. And he was like in trouble. But that's why I'm laughing, because he made a whole lie. And at first it was a slit. He slid his eyebrows. And then like a day later or 2 days later, it was gone, both of them. And I was like, So then he got in trouble because everyone kept staring at him. So he had to like put his desk up against the wall.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so fucking.
So yeah, like, definitely his mom always was there, like defending the shit out of him. And I was like, if I were to ever do anything to this kid, like I'd be the one getting in trouble, you know.
No,
And like
for
and I
sure.
told everybody, I even told some of my friend group because they were just like they all knew like how he was, and they were like, man, fuck that dude. We're not gonna kick with that dude. Like he's just a dick. He's just a white
Damn.
and like they were like, man, screw that dude. So then from that moment on, I was like, man, it's fuck that dude. I never wanted to hang out with him, and every time that he would come and he would try to have a conversation, he would always try to one up that
Yeah.
conversation and like
Yeah, I
and like
hate people. I hated people
his
with
mama
that,
bought
bro.
him a Benz, like a Mercedes Benz, and he would pull up to that. And I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm sorry to say this, bro. Son of a bitch, but God forgive me. I remember.
I'm gonna get canceled for that.
Hey, I think it was also karma on my end because I never got money out of it, bro. Somebody jacked me from it. the dude that I did it with took him.
Just seems like, damn, hey, finesse and got finesse.
But that's me, yeah.
Damn, finesser meets another finesser.
Absolutely.
Instant karma. Keep your
Yeah.
hands to yourself.
So anyway,
Wow.
I
I respect you for
the
that,
more
bro.
to the story. I mean, he got what he deserved, and at this point, like I hated just how people treated
Nah,
us
for
for all the
sure.
shit that we didn't have, and we were just very low life. So then, which ultimately, like back to the whole thing of like why we got sidetracked with this whole thing. I knew that I wanted to do something to be successful to give back to not only to myself but other people, and like to
No,
be an
for
impact
sure.
in this world. And I said this before, and like, it's not only to my mom, it's not only to my family, but it's to everybody, to kids that couldn't have a lot of shit that I did,
Mhm.
you know, and like there's just so much stuff that goes on, and like so much poverty here in Fresno, like that.
Mhm.
Where I want to give back and I want to help out, even just like the slightest way possible, because like that sort of
Yeah.
shit, like it's a blessing that we have a lot of stuff.
No, for sure. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I learned a lot in construction. I've like they told me like, so it's like I'm gonna put it this way: if you show the dedication and the work, you'll open multiple doors different in other places.
Mhm.
Like I've learned that from my father a lot because he would always tell me, I can call anybody up right now and I can go back in construction right now.
Mhm.
And I've learned that, and I've managed to almost do that with my old boss. You know,
Yeah.
like I'll show him the dedication that I'm hella interested in, and he'll give me blueprints to how to, you know, what size rebar goes right here,
Mhm.
and then it goes on the angle, and then he'll be like, hey, read these, like it's all done. Like the more you show dedication, trust me, you'll open doors everywhere. Doesn't matter where, you'll open doors because all of a sudden be like, hey, where'd you used to work? Oh, I used to work in construction. Give him the number, be like, yeah, he's a really good, he shows dedication. Well, that's another door. You go back, you'll leave that door open, the next one, continue. That's a little tip. If you show dedication for what you want,
Yeah.
you'll open doors anywhere.
For sure. And like
Anywhere.
I said too, like my dad was super loyal to the family, like to them that well my dad's story is insane, but when he couldn't really hold up a job and he was fortunate to meet the Cyber family, it's a funny story. Like the way my dad explains it is fucking hilarious.
I want to convince him to get on the podcast.
You wanna do it?
I want everyone to know his life story. He's
I don't
so
I
interesting.
wish, but I don't know if my dad would be even comfortable, and let alone like he would have to say it in Spanish the whole thing, you know.
We could make an
And-
episode.
And so this is the thing. So my dad, it's the funny way how he met Jerry Seibert. Jerry was the owner of the whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, have you ever seen Madagascar?
Yeah.
You know when the lion goes into Madagascar and sees the other lions and he's just like, oh, I am, you know, he does this whole hand movement. My dad said that when they first talked, that's how they spoke. That Jerry would have to speak in English and do hand gestures like,
Yeah.
this was one. He was just like, you know how to drive?
Tractor.
Tractor. You know how to drive? And my dad would be like, tractor. Yes. And my dad would get on the equipment and do it. And then like I think my dad said too that he saw that he was backed up with like the forklift stuff. So then my dad's like he was picking peaches, he stopped and he went, and then he saw the machine and my dad was just staring at the machine and he just got on it and he started working on the forklift, and the dude was just like, You drive? Forklift? Good. And my dad was just like, okay.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Like that, like just thumbs up. That's how they
Yeah.
communicated. And in the beginning, and then eventually, like he learned
They started
Spanish, and then
catching on,
and my
yeah.
dad started learning a little bit of English. But then, like my dad's story is just crazy, and then that's how he eventually like got a job, just
Damn.
working as just like a side
Right.
a side worker, and then And then there was another guy before him who's the foreman, who started taking my dad under his wing and like, you know, just teaching my dad the ropes of how to do all this stuff. And a lot of the ranchos around here where I live, my dad at one point was working each individual fucking lands because at that point, like they were renting or they were doing different things or there was always other properties around here, just different things. My dad knows a lot of stuff. And just his thing was crazy. And like growing up, I always told him like there was other rancheros that were offering like, hey, I'll pay you this much money. Hey, I'll give you this much houses, or I'll give you this house and stuff like that. And like giving them all these things because they knew how much of a great value worker my dad was. But my dad always said like, no, like loyalty over everything.
No, for sure.
And my dad was so loyal to Jerry because he always said, he was just like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the life that I have now. If it wasn't for him, like none of my family would be here. He's the one who helped my whole family out. And yeah. And so like my dad was just so fortunate to have Jerry take care of him. And if it wasn't for him, then he wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have this success that he has right now, the advice. And like my dad didn't have a general education, doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
And look at where he's at. You know, he
is he the one? I know this is out of pocket, this is on the side. Is he the one who confused me for Jason?
No, that's his son. That's Jeremy. No.
Shout out to him. I remember that. He looks at me, he goes, Jason, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like,
He's like, I'm Ramon. I'm sorry.
He goes, who? Ramon. Gotcha. Just walks away. I'm like, wow. Okay. Shout out to him. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, but that was his dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jerry unfortunately died. I want to say 2012, maybe.
Oh.
I don't remember exactly. 2012, 2011. 2012 maybe because my grandpa died 2012. So it's roughly around the same time. And unfortunately, you know, cancer. It affected my dad really hard, and it affected their whole family.
Right.
Because he was just such a loving guy, and then again, he did a lot for our family, and like we're very grateful for him. And we're grateful for those people, for I call my white family. Because again, like if it wasn't for any of them, we wouldn't be blessed with the blessings that we have now. And if it wasn't for my dad's loyalty to always be there for them, we wouldn't have the blessings. And eventually, like, you know, everything always counts. So loyalty always pays back.
Oh, 100%.
And my dad's always been loyal to the Cyber family because he never wanted to go somewhere else. And he said it to me as a young age, like, never bite the hand that feeds you.
Nah, never. Never.
And that's just proof of like all that, you know?
For sure though. That's a good story, bro. Hopefully you can convince him, bro. Have him on. Have him on. It'd be dope. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be dope.
Yeah.
They'll learn a couple things.
My dad's whole life, my dad's whole thing. He accomplished something that I haven't accomplished yet, and that is being an impact in the world. Because he's impacted so many people's lives. Like if it wasn't for him, he took a risk at the age of, who do you know, at the age of 13, 14, took a risk and came to the United States with no money, no nothing, just to give a better life to his whole family. You don't find that drive in anybody, you know? Nowadays, you know, for him, like he did that for his whole family. It wasn't just him, it was for his whole family. And he made sure like, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna make everything, give you guys all this stuff. And he was lucky enough to do that on his own. And he left a lot of imprints with a lot of people. He's well known in the agricultural business, and I always fail to realize that. But my dad's very popular, and my dad doesn't even know it. Like there's other white dudes that I meet, and that they're just like, oh, like, you know, they'll be like, you know, they start talking, and they're like, hey, you know, what's your name? And I tell them my name. They're like, oh, okay. Are you somehow related to Martin? So that's what everybody calls my dad. And I was like, yeah, that's my dad. And they're like, oh, they were like, I know him from such and such. Is he still working for Jerry? Like, he's been there. And they're just like, wow, how's he doing and stuff like that. Be people that I don't know. Right. Then my dad's fucking well known through the entire white community. Like it's just insane. And like, I mean, I grew up differently. Like, no offense. Like again, like my perception of white people is completely different.
Yeah.
You know, just because like I dealt with a lot of things like that as a bouncer.
Right.
But like for my dad, he's praised by a lot of white people. It's a good thing. You know, he's an impact in this world by himself.
You'll be an impact, bro. Trust me. It's,
hope so.
you just have the good things. You have to look. You can look up to him. You know.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
And I think with like a lot of their qualities get passed down to you, like they raised you.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of who he is, you'll become.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the better parts, you know. You'll just become
Yeah.
not a better version, but you'll become a version of your dad.
For sure. Those consejos that he gives you, bro, keep them in the bag.
For sure. And there's a lot of beautiful songs that say like, you know, I don't want to really fucking say much, but like, you know, those consejos, those castigos, all that shit just stays.
You can never go wrong.
You laugh at them now when you think back at them, but at the moment you were really
Yeah, they have meaning to it, huh?
Yeah.
Because then you're in a life situation and you're just like, and then all of a sudden it plays and you're just like, hey, remember, if you're in a situation like this,
yeah.
I was in it too. Then you're just
All the
like,
advice, all the times that you got in
Yeah.
trouble, and like at the very end of it, like never hold that resentment
nah.
because that shit kills you, and you just have to learn that your parents are also they didn't have all the questions, they didn't have all the answers, and they struggled and they did the best they could, and it's hard. I know it was hard.
That's why I mean I was raised very different from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're
the-
American.
Okay. What do you gain?
Your richness. You're born.
Yeah.
Okay. I deserve it.
You know, I lost my train of thought.
You were raised differently.
What were you saying before that?
I was talking about
Quotes that we would get from our
quotes.
parents.
regaños,
Yeah,
castigos.
I literally lost it. It's fine.
There isn't a time where where you see someone struggling and you just be like, hey, like I was given this tip, pass it down.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day you can't really force it on someone, but you can just be like, hey, like I'm gonna give you a handing help tip. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and like I don't really like talking about like when I help out a lot of people. You know, I like to keep that very low key just because like obviously bad juju if you talk about it and you brag about it.
Yeah.
I never want to talk about it, but there's this one couple that I love them. I appreciate them for everything that they do for me, man. And like I've been working as a bouncer for fucking ever at this facility, and I get emotional. I'm not gonna lie, but every time I talk to this guy and like he listens to me and he's just like, hey, like how you doing? Like how are you doing today? I'm good. And like he's just like, how's everything? Is the week? And I was like, no, everything's good, man. And he's just like, gracias a Dios, otra semana. And I'm just like,
Amen.
thank you, man. Gracias a Dios por estar aquí, you know? And he's just like, we just gotta pray, God, we gotta keep going, keep pushing. He's just like, yeah. And I never wanted to take money from him or anything like that, but he always just like, here, I know like you're struggling, I know that's hard in life. And he would give me money for grab a bite to eat or something. Because there would be times that I wouldn't have money, I wouldn't have anything to even have a bite to eat, you know?
Right.
And he would be like, here, hey, dinner's on me. Whenever you can eat, grab something here. And like him and his wife, they're just so loving, and whenever they can, and I always tell him like, hey man, I can't take your money. He's just like, no. He's just like, take it. He's like, you need it more than I do.
Respect.
And I love that,
Shout out
man.
to them.
Like, shout out to them. And one day I promise, man, I'm gonna repay them. I'm gonna give them whatever I can to give them, because the love and the support, that just random act of kindness for them to help me out, like that shit impacts me a lot, because I'm just like, fuck, like I see it as a negative, but I just see it as more of a motive. I'm like, fuck, like you're such a fucking bum, like you don't got money for yourself. And it's just like,
No.
I don't mean it like that, but that's how I just treat myself, just because like how I'm raised, how I was criticized, and like you criticize yourself in that way because it motivates you, it brings you to that drive of like, nah, fam, like you got to do better, you got to do
For sure.
better for yourself, and you got to push yourself to the next level.
Well, now what I have to say doesn't make any sense in the context that we're talking. I was gonna say though, because you said all the advice your dad was giving you, I've been trying to do like recently is like record them. Like when I was younger, I would go to my abuela and I'd be like, tell me how you grew up, and literally just voice record on my phone. So like then you have it, because like once my abuela goes, I don't know anything about her side of the family. Like we're pretty like up to date with my with my dad's side of the family.
Mhm.
We know where they're from, but more or less we don't know about my dad's mom's family. Like we know the gist of who they were and like who her parents were, but like nothing in specific.
Mhm.
So like a few years ago, I went up to my grandma and I was like, "Tell me about like growing up." She had like 3 brothers, so I was like, "What was that like?" And literally just push record, and I have it saved on my phone now. But just to have like, God forbid, I know one day my grandma's gonna pass on, but like it's just comforting to know like I can still hear her voice, I can still hear what she has to say and the advice she took and the way she took things. So I just want to do that more, and like you guys can do that too. You have both your parents. We all
Yeah.
have both our parents, thankfully. And we have like you have your grandma, like just to sit there and like not for any other reason, but for yourself or for like your siblings or like my kid or like future kids. Like when my grandpa passed away 2018, and my littlest brother was like close, they were like best friends. And I don't know if he says it now because it makes like he gets emotional, but he says he doesn't remember my grandpa's voice. And it like almost makes me want to cry because they were best friends. And like they would talk every day, and they would like my grandpa would take him to school and pick him up, and like they were close. And like the videos we do have, they're like on Snapchat, so his voice is like distorted. Or like we have videos from when we're little, but he's saying like 2 or 3 one-liners. So I wish that granted we didn't know he got sick pretty fast and passed away,
Yeah.
but I wish that we had recorded more of just like him speaking and like the advice that he would give us, just to have for my brother or like my cousin or like for your grandma, for your sister. Your sister's pretty young, but when she grows up and like you're going through things right now that like your grandma might not be around for your sister, and like if you have that recording, then it's like
Yeah, it's to
it's
continue
more
the memory.
permanent. Yeah, it's more permanent, and it adds like I don't know, like a closer.
Like more sentimental value.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be for anyone. You guys can just record it and like share it within yourself, or set up a little camera and just video record and get like her talking and she gets emotional. I just do video because I do voice. My grandma doesn't like being in pictures, so give and take a little bit, you know.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Very touching though.
Like I would love to, but then at the same time, like I feel like it's those memories always stay with you.
Yeah.
And like I'm more of like live in the moment, like enjoy the
fair.
moment with them.
Yeah.
Because at any given point, yeah, like you're saying, like at any given point, tomorrow ain't promised, bro.
It really aren't, to
Like,
be honest.
I'm not promised.
Neither
like,
am I.
I might not be here tomorrow. You know, tomorrow
Please don't say
I can go to work and next thing you know I can get hit by a drunk driver. You know, or some shit happens. I'm not looking at you. Relax.
No. I'm talking about the incident we almost had with the truck.
Yeah,
That was a while
like
back, yeah.
so we've had a lot of near death. I've had multiple near death experiences. Trust me.
Oh my god.
And like we'll share one before we wrap this up. Me and Ramon, we were hanging out with we were planning to hang out with the entire group.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you know, nothing came of it. It was just it ended up just being me and him. And we were like, okay, let's go have breakfast at Huckleberry's. So we go and we're having a deep conversation. We're enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day. We're enjoying it.
For real.
And we have a great lunch because by the time it was already lunch, huh?
Yeah.
We have a great lunch. And we had just deep conversations like we always do. We drive back home to my house. We get off to the street, my street. As we're driving, we just continue just listening to music, enjoying ourselves. And next thing we know is I just see a whole semi run the stop. And just in the blink of an eye, you just don't know what's going to happen. And thank God, you know, I reacted in the most quickest way that I could. And I swerved out the way, hit the brakes as hard as I could, and I turned the wheel just so that way he doesn't smack any of us, man.
I was gripping on that door handle for like, but hold on, bro. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you ever come across, you hear this, fuck you. What the fuck did I do to get mugged for it? He acted like if it was my fault. He ran that.
Yeah, he and it was a whole semi that ran the entire stop sign. It wasn't like it was our fault. No, we were just headed back home, and he runs in a stop sign. Mind you, there's no stop sign for us.
Nah,
it's just a straight shot.
No stop sign.
No
just
stop
like,
sign. It's not even at a major intersection.
Nah.
Where he's at a stop sign. You can either turn left or right.
Yeah.
But you need to stop, look both ways before you turn.
Exactly.
You know, so then we're just driving down my road. And just like I said, he runs the stop sign, doesn't look both ways. And he was in a rush. That's what it was. He was just in a rush. And
Wake up
luckily
earlier
we
next time.
swerved out the way, and you know, nothing damaged us. Nothing happened to us.
Thank
It damaged
God.
my car for sure when I slammed the brakes, because I had to change the whole
Yeah.
caliber,
Yeah.
and I had to change my whole brakes and all that, because it bent my caliber completely because of how I turned that
Uh-huh.
to avoid them. And the semi just started dogging Ramon. Ramon's in passenger, and the semi truck is just like,
It's
okay.
like, hey, fuck you. What did
Yeah.
I do, bro?
And like at one point I was just like, do I get off and like talk to this dude, or do we stop? Like,
nah, he just drove off.
I was like, what do we do? Like, there's nothing that we really can do, because what are we supposed to do at the moment? Like, do we get off and talk to him? Like, no, like, he just ran the stop sign.
I'm like, bro,
Nothing, bro.
you almost could have killed us. And then the first thing he was like, hey, fuck you. You
Yeah.
ran it. I'm like, only if he knew how I was gripping it, bro. I was just like, nah, he is back. He is, hey.
At that given point, we knew, like, hey, bro, if I didn't react at any point,
Nah, bro, it is.
that my car would have been completely under that semi truck.
Hey, our families would have been paid. Would
Hey,
have been cashed
For
out.
sure. And we
Cashed out.
would be just two crosses at the end of the road.
We're just simple t-shirts.
Simple t-shirts. RIP.
Damn.
It's shit like that.
It's not funny to laugh at, but it's just mind blowing how the truck driver was just like,
Making it seem like it was all far.
it was,
Yeah.
he was just mugging me. Remember that truck stopped, looked back at us, the truck just dipped,
Mm-hmm.
and he just pulled over to the side. Like, maybe he's gonna be like, hey, y'all good? Nah, bro.
Nope.
He stopped. We looked at him and he looked the other way. He was like, I'm not a witness.
Mm-mm.
I'm not a witness. I'm like,
No.
okay.
It's baffling that people really don't like that, bro.
And I still get mugged to this day. I don't do nothing to nobody, bro.
I don't know what you do, man.
What do I don't.
I think it's your face. You just look too nice, so people just want to punk you.
I'm too nice.
Like you're the passenger just minding your business, having a jolly good time, and someone just punks the shit out of you. I think it's just because they want to ruin your day. I don't know, but you like we're in cars, and cars pass by, and they're just me mugging Ramon, and
What?
Ramon's just sitting there minding his
What
business.
do I? That's my problem. What is?
I just think
I
people
don't
are
know.
happy. They just want to ruin your day.
I don't know.
Hey,
Like, you're
it's
just
not,
vibing.
it's not my fault they sour. Yo, it's not my
That is not
fault.
my
That is
issue.
not my. Yeah, I'm trying to have a good day. And you got people.
They're just staring
I'm not just like, yo, take a picture. Last longer, bro. Like that. This and it's from both. It's from both. It's either men or women. Yo, today, yes, no. Today when we went to go get Dutch, bro, some torta was just. I'm just like,
A
yo,
whole torta was
what
just
did I
mean mugging the shit out of
do?
you.
I don't do nothing. Hey, they some haters, bro.
Yeah.
Haters. Hey, you know what Taylor Swift said? Shake
Haters
them
are
off
my motivators.
on me.
Mhm.
I don't even shake them haters off. You feel
Yes,
me?
sir.
That's
Yes,
the only
sir.
good. That's the only good Taylor Swift.
That's on the Taylor Swift song?
Hot Taylor Swift fan.
Oh, okay.
I am not a Taylor Swift man. It's just shake the haters off.
Hey,
That's
no,
what-
it's all good. Hey, don't be embarrassed, bro. It's okay.
Taylor Swift has some bops.
Taylor Swift. Listen,
Hey, don't make me
out
get
of
Julian on you.
topic,
Don't make me
out
get
of
Julian on you. He sings Taylor Swift in the shower.
hey, that respects to him, right? But she all about like
I really don't know any songs.
all her songs are all about
Man,
just
don't say that.
exes.
You'll learn real quick.
No, I don't.
all,
don't need
all
to.
her songs are about exes.
Fake news.
No, I know.
Fake.
I've seen that on
Fake
TikTok.
news. Not
That's
every
not
single
fake.
song's about
Every
it.
single song is about
every
That's
single
fake
song.
everything.
news.
Every single
You're
song.
just spreading lies.
We're spreading lies.
Fake news.
That's crazy.
Tell that to Taylor
I'm not even a
Lautner.
Swiftie. Fake news.
That's why Kanye West interrupted her in the Grammys.
That was a whole publicity stunt,
Yeah.
right? I think so.
My question is, how did we get here from sad from?
I don't know, bro. Just keep it
I
going.
don't know. It's just another
I'm just
episode.
saying, like, I don't understand what's the whole point of me getting mean mugged like for no reason. I just still don't
That's to the
understand.
point I'm getting bullied on the daily.
Yes. I'd be driving with my mom and I'd be getting mean mugged. My mom's like, ¿Por qué se te queda mirando? I'm like, I don't fucking know, mom. I don't even be doing nothing.
Maybe it is that you got that nice face, right?
Or sometimes I'd be driving with her in the same way. You're like, hey, you want me to tell him? But like, I look at them, mom, you want me to tell him something? And she goes, ya ves, por eso te hacen por lo que te hacen. I'm like, "Ah." But see, now like, I don't understand the why. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, I don't even
It's like that last
look
time
at them.
that last time we went to Dutch with your sisters. That shit was funny, man.
I heard about that.
When you were Took the L, bro.
Ooh, I was never trying to do that. Those are false accusations on me.
Bro,
Ooh.
don't let me get your
Call Tanya
sisters on
Nene.
you.
Call Tanya Nene.
I'll call her right now. You think I'm playing? I'll call her right now. She'll be, hey,
Wow, we started.
hey, first
Call
of
your
all,
sister. Call her.
All of a sudden, she's busy.
hey, yes,
He's stuttering.
hey, you got me. You know what?
He's
Hey,
digging the whole beaver, big dog.
next,
That's it.
Next segment.
Eat a dick.
Hey, don't worry. You want me to cut that out? I'll cut it out.
He's like, yeah, please.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
We even do the would you
And I
rather.
don't know how we got here.
I don't know how.
Let's just say that for another video. The would you rather?
Yeah, we got to. We got to.
Yeah,
Because I don't
this
even
one.
know.
It's also 11:03 p.m.
Oh, fuck.
What are we going to get to eat?
I don't know.
That's the important
That's
question.
the important question.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Don't
Just-
ask me. Let me tell the podcast listeners how this goes.
Okay.
Okay. So we finished recording.
Oh, so
Usually it's
wait,
late.
hold on. We're adding this?
We're adding this.
Okay, so we're just going to find out how fast we are.
Sure.
First
So let
of
me
all,
tell you how these guys really work, okay?
Behind the scenes of the Broke Boys.
Behind
We
the
finish
scenes.
recording, wrap up, whatever, fine. We go in the room because it's hot where we record. So we go to our living room, we get some AC, cool down, get on our phone for a little bit. Usually it's quiet, like 5 to 7 minutes, no one's saying a word.
I
Okay.
cuddle with Ramon.
Okay. So then they're
Why?
like, dude, we're hungry.
Hey,
They
Haters are
like
gonna
first
hate.
conversation is like, oh, I'm hungry. Where are we gonna go eat? And then Martin's like, I don't know. It's up to Ramon. He's the guest here. And Ramon's like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what to get. Miss Cat, you pick. So then I
First
always
of all,
end up
hold
picking.
on.
That sounds like an
Pause.
attack
I
on you.
always end up picking, and then I'll throw something out there, and they're like, yeah, I guess. Like I know they don't want to go there, but they're like, yeah, I guess. And then they
Wow.
go and that's what we get.
excuse me. First of
to be
all,
honest, how many times, babe? How many times does Raymond pick where we eat? Out of 10
Okay, let's settle
times.
this. Who picked last time? Who picked last week?
I did with the angry chicks. That was me.
That was him.
For the first time in what?
I don't
Since you
know.
started the podcast?
I think we always take turns. We always switch. We always try to switch.
You know who's been the lucky thing on our side? The coin flip. If we can't really decide what it is, we straight go to the coin
Always
flip.
trust the coin
First of all,
flip.
that's me and Martin's thing.
Never disobey the coin flip. Trust me.
First of all, me and Martin's thing. Okay, wow.
Hater.
Oh.
Hey, you know what,
Hey,
guys?
here's my-
It's
hey,
time to
here's my
wrap. Hey,
peanut.
it's time to wrap up this podcast before it goes sideways. You feel me? We're trying to keep everything positive, friendly vibes on.
Y'all start swinging afterwards.
Hey,
I'm gonna be like, and I'm 22.
I was gonna say I was gonna use the card, but I can't say that. I'm not trying to get
Say
canceled.
what you've been telling me all day, Raymond. Say it with your chest.
You want? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. Listen, for all the people out there, hey, I'm gonna use it. I identify as a woman card today.
I respect
Online.
that.
If anybody,
Got you.
handsome, nah, but listen,
Clip that.
clip that. Hey, I said,
He said just for the day though.
just for the day though, just for the day. None of y'all don't get offended. Don't get offended. Don't get offended. I was gonna say
Already
that.
offended. They're done. You're done.
Who's offended? First of
Goodbye.
all, who?
Mute my.
You, my mic. Listen, you.
Maybe it's for the better, honestly. He's on a tangent right now.
Oh, hey, it's all right. You know what? Yeah, let's cut it here. Let's cut it here.
For real. Unless you know you're gonna start talking about Andrew Tate and then it's all over.
I'm Andrew. Nah, that's not me. That's not me.
Wild.
Nah, it is me. I'm not gonna lie.
That's me too. I
Hey,
respect that.
hey, hit him with a little. Nah,
Tell him goodbye.
see, hater for what?
It's just hot as hell in here.
I understand.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm not
It's
gonna lie.
hot in here.
Oh my
We're
God.
sweating.
Well, we appreciate you guys for another episode of the Broke Boys. We
Yeah.
apologize for jumping around. I know we keep doing this, but it just keeps it very nice and authentic for us.
For real.
You can have an emotional roller coaster with us.
Don't even know what to expect. Hey,
Red
but
in
no,
the air.
hey, put it down in the comments if I'm the only one that gets mugged. Please, I want to hear if I'm the only one that gets me mugged on a daily
I'm
basis.
pretty sure you are, bro.
Listen, that is
Because
not
I don't
fair.
get mean mugged. If anything, I get the asshole drivers that just cut you off or sometimes like you know how right here on Shaw,
Yeah.
you know those dumbass last minute
I'm a
drivers
safe
that just
driver.
fucking cut in.
I'm the safest driver out here first. Now.
That's bullshit, bro. Bullshit. That
Bullshit.
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 Boy, you be hitting 80 on like a 35.
Excuse
You be
me?
hitting 95 on a fucking 45.
I can confirm that Ramon is not the safest driver in Fresno.
Because you're here.
Ramon walked out.
Hey, first of all, listen. Any Fresno Police Department, you hearing this? Nah, that's not me. That's not me. I am the safest. I still got 3 points in my license. That's cap.
Hey, say that about say that to your
That's-
tickets that you got.
That's cap. What tickets? I ain't got no tickets, bro. Hey, I'm the like I said. Though,
Listen, bro, let's just stop it right here before you start making up more lies.
damn.
You be your own best friend.
Really?
Did you not just hear him right now?
Nah, it's fine. Hey, I forgot. It's fair game.
We're done here.
It's fair. Hey, listen, like I said, listen, shout out. Thank you for tuning in with us. An emotional roller coaster, like how my boy Martin said, but at the end of the day, we're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry, but we're trying.
sorry.
We tried.
That's how you know it's off the dome.
No, this is
Off the
strictly
dome.
off
It's
the head.
not script or nothing, but
It's all
appreciate
authentic. We
y'all.
love doing this. We love doing this for y'all.
appreciate
you guys for
everybody
tuning
around
in.
the world who's listening to us.
Shout out to all you
Shout out
guys.
to y'all, for real. Really shout out to y'all. I never knew I'd be in a position where I had
Yeah.
people around the world listening to us.
I never knew that
And
either, bro. But thank you for everybody in the UK.
Big
Thank
shout
you
out
for
to
guys
y'all.
for out in London, out in France, out in Germany.
Ooh, Africa, big
Australia,
shout out to y'all. Alaska
Africa.
too, the Netherlands, big shout out to all y'all. And hopefully y'all still show the support. And
Mhm.
once we make it, we promise we'll touch every city.
We will one day.
We will. One day we
We're
will.
gonna
We'll
put it out
touch.
there. We will.
We will.
We're gonna be on the Broke Boys tour one day.
Oh,
Broke Boys International. I can already see it, bro.
yeah, bro. Boys
Yeah.
International.
We fucking around. Austin. Look at these German skonkas.
Oof.
I'll be
Sure.
stay home boy.
Okay.
Hey, I respect that. Respect that.
Respect that. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Much love.
What's up?
Take care.